Hear myself. I don't know. Double checking them, but now. Double checking them, but now. Oh, okay, perfect. This has been. Cat hell today. Barely any time to practice. Double checking them now. Oh, okay, perfect. Just looking up at the sky because I'm trying to figure out my life. I've had no time to practice today, so I am just winging it again. That for a second. All right. Let's go at least 6 and field. worse, alright? It's just, bad habits. Bad habits that die really hard. Sorry. Yeah, okay. Is it loud? Or am I just talking quietly? I have a tendency to mumble. Well, let's see now. Yeah, I've just been kind of... Ah, okay. Okay. Good deal. We have 7 cars to shoot today. It's not a huge thing, but it should be fun. That's funny. Hey Adam, how you doing? Let's get this. I'm trying to actually get my head in the right space. It's been a weird day today, so here we are. Trying to actually get my head in the right space. It's been a weird day today. So let's see if you can hear me now. Here we go. I'm probably just not projecting. Oh hey, well, welcome. Can you hear me now? This is probably going to be a very uneventful race today because we don't have a lot of people signed up. So that's okie dokie. Huh. Very faint, huh? Alright, well, we're going to try this then. Oh my god, I totally forgot to change that. Ah! Oh my god. Really? Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay. Oh my god, I totally forgot to change that. Ah! Oh my god. Wonderful. Really? Wonderful. Okay. Well, I guess it's a wet race just for reasons. Alright, that's fine. That's okay. That's alright. We'll just wing it even more. I had a plan and I sabotaged my own plan. Oh my god, I totally forgot to change that. It's okay. Well, wonderful. Okay, well, now I have to go figure out a wet setup in 5 minutes. So I may be talking a little bit, but not a lot, because I need to see if the thing I figured out is even going to work. That is great. I can't trust that field calculation, so I'm not even going to try. Wow, what a wonderful day. What a wonderful, wonderful day. Okay. We're going to just figure this out as we go. Awesome. Well, the fun drama for today is that I had set up a dry race and a dry race setup, and I forgot to change the weather here, and so it's raining. And so now every piece of work I did is out the window, and I have to do a winging it for a wet setup in 5 minutes. So that's amazing. I'm so excited. So looking forward to that. Had no plan. Whatever. We're gonna wing it. So we're winging it today. Ugh. That's amazing. Pretty much. Pretty much, Lenny. Pretty much. Deal with it, .exe. Okay. That's hilarious. Alright, well, we're fine. We roll with it. Literally done absolutely zero running in the wet. This is my first lap in the wet around Indy ever in this car. Just taking the setup I've got, threw some wet tires on it. I'll fix the tire pressure in a minute. Fantastic. Probably makes the KTM even faster than it should be. That's it. Actually, at least this setup, the car doesn't be handled too bad. Up by 3, so that's too bad. Can't tell you why. no idea what the BOP is on the Camaros around here, so that may also help it. But Nin's also really fast, so can't argue with that. Doing laps and junk tires is not okay. Tire pressure and other silly things. Let's see, for 33, I need to be 30. So that'll bring us to 31. Yeah, these probably the same. You get so much pace out of tires in ACC, you have to spend half your time doing a tire pressure simulator to figure stuff out. And I want to take a little bit of weight out of the car and go from there. It's unfortunate people don't drive the GT4s enough because it's just so much about mechanical balance and mechanical grip. Like, it's really, really, really unfortunate. I feel like a lot of folks get sucked into the GT3 trap and they lean on aero they don't understand, and then when they have to drive cars like this, they don't know what to do. It's really a damn shame. This is great square. See, iRacing is a really popular GT4 community, and I wish ACC had figured out how to fix its BOP and do a little bit more marketing around it to get people excited. Damn shame. Also, I might go back to my full wet setup if I have a chance to do one more run and see full dry setup. I threw a bunch of wing on here and like half panic, and I wonder if that was necessary. like it's still fun. The GT4s in the Marine are really drivable. So, you know, you kind of freak out for a split second, and then it's like, oh, okay, you start driving it. To the low speed. Tired of it. Also, I think the track conditioning's drying out a bit, so I'm sure they're probably going faster too. Because the speed is lower because of the rain, so we can actually brake deeper. It's good. I did a wet weather clinic in ACC a couple of years ago for NASRS and a few other groups. That was really helpful because it's like you don't have a wet line in ACC like you would in iRacing other places, so it makes the driving really easy. Lift, I keep doing this up around
Davin.
nice thing is that the lifting post that's needed for like for 13 isn't as bad, and a few other things like that. So that gives you a plus. Left, it's just getting eaten up. I mean, can you blame it? It's a bunch of high G right hand turns. Damn. Let's help that tire when we can. Yeah, plus a better traction zone around 11 would help a ton. Fix this tire again. It is at 5, it should be 31.2. 32, it should be 30 flat. Okay, so that should be okay. That tire's fine. That tire's fine. That's ACC. You spend so much time talking about tires. You're just, you know, tire gobble gobble, tire gobble gobble. Okay, I'm just gonna call that 40 liters. 2.6, 2.1. You're doing 3 or 4 laps in qualifying, so it's only gonna be 8 laps. So something like this would be more than enough. Alright. Just want to do one more round of check tires. Not even going to be too much, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm trying to get more people to join the GT4 races because, yeah, 20 car field here would be something to see. Yeah, that's the one turn. Turn 11 is the one turn that they don't get the traction dead. It's really crazy. Yeah, that transition I always struggle out too. Okay, all I wanted to check was this. So even if the lap isn't super fast, it's okay. I just want to go and check some things, see how we're doing. I guess we're okay. Gonna make a wet setup and call it whatever I need to. I always laugh when people go out with like 2 minutes to go. They never check the clock. And I always have this big thing about being able to do an out lap and actually do a lap. And a lot of people just don't pay attention. They just drive out because they're so excited to drive. They don't even pay attention to the clock. So I'm always laughing at them. Like, haha, you're not listening to the clock, you're not looking. But, you know, it is what it is. So 6 laps would be 12, so I'll call it 13. Oh, it's happening today. It's a very slow race. Not a lot happening in chat either, so that'll be a lot of me not saying a lot. But that's okay. Normally after these races, we hop into the league Discord and we do a little bit of a race debrief. So depending on how this race goes, even though it's going to be kind of short, we'll see. See if something comes out of it. Oh, hey, he's back. Welcome back, Adam. Basically just missed me do a 3-minute crisis of how to drive in the rain. Because nobody was ready for a wet race, so we all just had to wing it, I guess. So long. I've actually been to this track a few times, so it's fun to run at ACC because it's such a track that I've been to. Second run and I'll fix it. If we never get close to the window, I'll probably stop that one early, but we'll see. 2 tires are already there. Three tires are there. 4 tires are there. Okay. Good. I don't think something's important like this to put in the banker where possible. Oh yeah, and you can feel the slipperiness in the curve there. Knocks the car sideways. Yeah, it's called blow. It's easy, sure thing. That's what that's called. Overheat the furnace. Tires are gonna go again. Okay, let's go fix tires. Yeah, and it's just the shit, so of course it's going to be right there. And you got to keep running because I don't know if the track condition's getting drier or wetter, so I've kind of had to stay out and just keep pounding laps around to make sure that I have a car on track. You know, you got 4 cars within a second. I know it's not a big field, but you know, let's pretend you're doing a club race. You know, you can't just sit on your laurels for 5 minutes. Like the rain will come by and ruin all that. How much? Okay, by 10. Okay, so you find 2 tenths very quickly. Yeah, 3 minutes. Enough for 2 laps. I'm just gonna P2. That sucks. I'm never on pole. Ah, damn it. Oh well. So I'm just in the front there. That's not bad. That's alright. That's fine. But it probably would have been exactly the same to dry anyway, and it's pretty quick. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, the range of disappointment, slightly enthusiastic, to I don't know what to call that. That's alright. It's probably close. I think 40 is probably a little bit on the high side, but that's okay. I don't quite trust my calculator, so. What are you gonna do? Where? Tell me where that is. I might be able to get them to go over there. Oh. That might be a good way to fill some GT4 racing on a Friday. It's not actually not a bad idea. Send me a link or drop me something so I know where that is. What was the weather set for then? $45 and 2. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah, oh, with the weather it's of 0. Yeah, it's gonna rain this way the whole time. Okay. Yeah, just leave it. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, well. Interesting. That's funny. I will normally after the race. I normally don't like to get in the race social channels before, because it's like racing takes up so much bandwidth as it is. He never told me where his place was. All he did was tell me about it, and I was like, where is it? And he just left. So, I probably should have typed it. Oh well. Honestly, this race should be pretty fun anyway, because Nitin, me, and Brian are kind of all similar pace, and even Ryan and them, they're not super far off. So we'll see. See what we get ourselves into. Sometimes club races can be fun even when the field is small. Wonderful. A premonition of things to come. That's fantastic. I can hear him. He kind of just like standing or like holds the RPM and just drags the brakes the whole time, where I kind of jump on and off the brakes. It's really far away. There we go. about that. Should have waited. Man, he really died too. Ah, I feel terrible about that. Even the car last week, I caught him in the throttle. I was just cornering faster than I thought. And I ended up picking up his bumper. Oh my god, this didn't mean something to me. The same thing almost happened to me. I should have been more prepared there.
actually get to use something with that 21 speed.
Man, rough. Ah. Dude, I'm so sorry.
That's all good, Davin.
Sorry.
Murderer.
I totally did.
Dude, this car fucking sucks.
The KTM's really good on like tight tracks like Hungaroring and stuff, but anything that needs any wide open throttle, it kind of struggles.
Well, I just want the car not to slide laterally in every corner. Because it slides laterally in every corner.
Good fun, Davin.
Yeah.
I think I shoved you out of the way, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
definitely.
well, you know what?
You definitely
I'm
doored
trying
me,
to-
but I doored Nitin earlier, so I was like, I'm not going to be mad about that.
I'm just like, oh, I can't turn. Well, at least he's close to me. I'll just push him out of the way.
Yeah, you totally did that, and I was like, well, I mean,
break.
I did kill Nitin earlier, so I'll take it. I'll take the call.
that was fun. That was fun. Yeah. Oh, you were pressuring me so many times. I'm just like, nope, Ryan, just relax.
That one time you drove up in the grass in turn 7, I was like, where you going, homie? Like, like, oh man.
Yeah, I know. I'll take a real shortcut.
Yeah,
here.
right. I was like, shit. Okay.
Oh, yet I still managed to do really good. Like I was right out the grass. I'm, oh, okay, let's just keep going.
No, you did great. You did really
Let's kick the pedal to the floor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I came. I'm glad I got that one. I gotta though. I gotta go though. I gotta go pick up my son in about a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Man, it was great to
Yeah.
get that
man.
one race.
Yeah, dude.
Thanks for driving the race
good.
again.
Yeah, good job.
I'm exhausted.
Dude, yeah.
GT4s take a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tons of fun.
Yeah, and the same thing happened to Carter kind of in Coda, where like it was just under acceleration coming out, and it's like you were just accelerating more slowly than I thought you were. So as we were coming around 7, I'm just getting my power, and I was like, oh my god, I'm coming up the back of them. Like, jeez. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's a brick. It does not want to turn, so
Yeah.
I have to wait until the last moment to actually.
yeah,
get on the
no, totally. Like when I first
Yeah.
caught up on you, I was like, there's no way I'm catching up that fast. Like I don't need to lift, and then it's all of a sudden I was like, oh my god, yes I do. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, he'll get going
I
eventually.
saw that little correction and then it just closed up, and I was like, ah.
Yeah. I was like, he'll get going eventually. Like he'll go, right? He's not going. Wait, he's not going.
I drove the Mercedes in the practice over earlier, and I was like, oh shit, this is what it feels like to have front grip.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, there's a massive difference between
Oh,
the two.
dude, I know. That's why I don't drive the Camaro. Like, yeah.
Should.
Yeah. No, I want to have fun. No, I'm having fun.
Fun.
No.
It's, you don't know when the car will turn.
That's
You have to wait.
that's not fun. Look, I come from the Wakazashi stabs you in the chest in the sex, right? Like, no. I'm fine. But I felt bad. I was like, god damn it.
Perfect.
Yeah, the KTM is kind of one of those cars where it's like, choose at your own risk kind of thing. I swear the only time I hear Oppo say something positive about that car is Hungary. And then, otherwise
We
he's
lost
mad.
Papa.
Oh no, Josh.
Papa,
Josh
how you
beat me
live?
once and was like, I'm going.
Yeah, I'm leaving on a high. I'm posting this on my wall. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, it's too bad that we can't get more people to drive the GT4s, because it's like, yeah, sure, there's a bit of disparity, but also... Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go.
No, I'm thinking it might also be a Tuesday thing.
Maybe.
Because people are generally more free around Thursday.
Maybe.
Might not.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
we can see on the multi-classes he shows up there for that, too, because I don't know about you, Nitin, but whatever day I pick, it always happens to be that's the problem. You know?
Okay.
You picked a Tuesday. Oh, you picked a Wednesday. Oh, you picked a day and then why? Oh, you picked the daytime. Oh, it's not day enough. It needs to be later at night. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, that was an accident. I totally did not design for that. I just,
Dude, I love racing in the rain.
me too. I do too. I just totally forgot when I changed the server when I copied it from, and I was like, oh shit, it's raining. Oh man.
Yeah, I just so happened to make a setup that's excellent in the rain.
Yeah, dude.
Kind of struggles in the dry though.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. I don't know, are we doing this race?
I'll do it.
There's always a weapon that can kill you, though.
I'll do it.
I'm considering dropping out. That last race, that made me a little salty.
Yeah, I think you
I
kind
turned the
of.
wheel.
I think you started with a bit of vinegar before you started, though. Just given this morning.
Oh God, it was awful.
Mm.
Yeah, I turned the wheel, and the car grips up. Mid corner is fine, and then before I even like touch the throttle, it's like it's just drifting all the way to the outside of the track. It's like, okay, cool, let me catch that. So let me turn the wheel, and now we're drifting all the way to the other side of the track.
I have to watch it because, like, how familiar are you with the GT4s?
Fairly familiar.
Okay.
I got pretty close to Greg's time at Kona.
Oh shit. Okay.
I feel like you and I were sliding pretty similarly, though.
Oh, you should see my onboard. I think I owe my steering wheel a cigarette after the amount of lingering.
That's funny. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't really drive the KTM, so I can't tell you. Like, that car would be a great spec race choice. You know, where we all decide that we're gonna all drive the same car all week, and then
Ooh, yeah,
you know, I do enough laps and I'd be able to help you out, but I don't know it well enough to be able to really help.
I don't like, normally I can feel like what a car needs to at least have some pace.
Sure.
This one, it's like, okay, so do you want momentum? No, you don't want momentum. Okay, well, you need to go slow in, fast out. No, that's not what it needs either. So, okay, do you need me just to be slow at the apex, slow at entry, and slow on exit? It's like, that's perfect. I love that.
I don't know, man. I feel like the KTM is definitely, it feels like on the dry more of a momentum car than the other ones.
Right, and when I was practicing at the dry, the momentum really did help. Like, I almost took the parting line around the horseshoe. But in the rain, it's like it just slides sideways.
I mean,
that wing max, the rake isn't extreme.
Does it push front first or rear first?
It is at the exact same time.
Oh shit!
It slides laterally off to the side.
How stiff was it? Did you set it for? Like on the roll bars?
0 on the rear and 1 on front out of a possible 4.
You think maybe the
I
car?
think with GT4s you do both full stiffness, max stiffness.
Yeah, or full or
you
mid
car.
stiffness. I think. I mean, it might be that the car's just rolling over, and so the reason why it's sliding is that there's no roll bar, and so the body rolls and just pulls you to one side. That might be it.
Maybe.
It's hard to say without driving.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's normally how the McLaren likes to be set up.
The GT4 McLaren?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't drive that because the brakes drive me nuts on it.
Yeah. I can't drive the GT4 McLaren because the brake bias drives me crazy. Yeah, I'll decide for you. No, thank you.
It's like, hey, how would you like to just miss this turn completely?
So, Nitin, I don't know if I lined up next to you. So I tried to line up to the edge of the green box the last time, and I wasn't sure if I was right next to you. So I just decided to let you into turn 1 because I wasn't exactly sure if I was ahead of you or not. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think at the start you were a little ahead, but yeah, cheers to that.
Yeah. If I ever feel like I'm a little bit ahead at the start, even if it's just like a small inkling, I just let the car ahead of me go. and then go into turn 1.
I am full green.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm sitting behind an SUV. As soon as I get close to your rear bumper, it's like, oh, I can't see over you.
So you got the true sports car experience, it sounds like. Officially made it farther than he did the last time. Yeah.
No, the last time I did 1 lap. It was on the 2nd lap.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. We still got a lap to go. That's
Okay.
fine.
I'm not sure which should have
Yeah. This section in this car is fun.
Just clutch kick it.
Yeah, he just kind of dories.
Downside.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a drift.
Wow. Hey Siri, show me the car not turning. 1 second, Davin.
I was saying in the practice over earlier that this car, you have to aim about 5 meters to the inside of the apex to make the apex.
Yeah, believe it.
It's something else. But I tell you, the moment you get back into a GT3, you just appreciate the grip so much more.
Oh yeah, when I went from that Chevy to the freaking Lexus, oh my god.
Yeah, right. The Lexus is so fucking good. We give so much shit for not turning, but then we got this brick. I've officially got a better start.
There you go. Now you've gone farther than you have before. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Breaking records everywhere.
I kill him in this turn.
I am pushing so hard right now, and it's just like there's no pace.
I don't know. I found the GT4s, the harder you push, the worse they get.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
It's
Yeah.
like a rhythm with these things.
Yeah, you can't push them hard because then you drive the tires off the car, and the car won't turn, and then it gets understeer, and then the understeer gets worse.
Let me try backing just a bit. Move the brake points back. Coast through some apexes and see what happens. Anger. Okay, somehow I braked earlier and lost the grip. I guess maybe that's an error. Oh, we slammed again.
Damn, following your car is such a mind fucking. It moves so much. I'm like, he's dead. He's dead. He's alive. He's dead. He's dead.
I'm pretty sure it's impossible to kill this car by oversteering it. Like, I can do this. It's fine. It does not give a shit. Like, I'm stamping on the brakes while turning.
Yeah, I can tell the amount of
How
weight,
good it is turn.
the amount of weight transfer you have every time you turn. I'm like, fuck me, dude. Like, how's he still steering? Like,
Yeah, speaking of rhythm,
Like, I'm on 90% brake going into that corner.
Tokyo Drift out there.
he's slinging ass out here.
How much you charge?
Depends on the tire. Nope, too much. Yeah, okay, I'm eventually done with this.
Oh, shit.
oh man.
Did he leave?
I think so. I think I'm gonna change my stream title to Davin Battles of People One at a Time.
Oh, shit.
Saw that coming.
I didn't.
I was watching you and I was like, oh, I'm not braking. That's not helpful.
Yeah, you really can't mirror what's in that corner.
Mm-mm.
I think
Yeah.
it's sliding it.
It is? Doesn't feel like it.
Oh man, you should see it from my point of view. It's like how... It's like when Greg chases me in the Mustang. It's the same disconcerting American feeling.
Jeez.
Bit different.
I feel the heavy breathing.
Yeah,
Because
those
in the big ass
horses are
grill.
scooting.
So Greg, are you going to do a NORDS walkthrough next week?
Oh, that's next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can plan on.
Okay. Every time I see Nitin, I think of the Revenge of Force India. I just feel like it's like the second coming of Vijay Mallya.
Fun fact, he's from my hometown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was pretty popular. You know, until like, you know, he stole like $1 billion or so.
Yeah, it's all the theft.
From public sector banks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll do it. Yep.
For a little while, I feel like he was like
That
the...
was like a... His dad was really well respected, even though he wasn't like, you know,
Yeah, for a little while, I feel like he was like the Lawrence Stroll before Lawrence Stroll. You know, like, kind of ran the team in a kind of, not the same way, but like in the same kind of vibe.
he's more like Paul Stoddart, actually.
Oh, okay.
Rich dude, invest in an airline, and then get the Formula 1 team.
Yeah, all right. You know what? That's a really,
Yeah.
that's a good analogy, yeah.
I only recently found out that Paul Stoddart also owned the other. That's not familiar.
How much understanding we have all of it, yay!
That's all of it?
No, there's more. You have all of it.
Yeah. I'm looking at it, I'm jealous.
Yeah, don't share.
I'm done. I was thinking we should do like a Mustang and Camaro multi-class at Bathurst.
Oh, that'd be fun. I'd so do that.
V8 supercars.
I would so do that. That's a great idea. Oh my god, I wouldn't even throw up a
Yeah,
special
that is.
event for that. That's a great plan.
A Mustang and what?
Camaro.
Yeah, like a
Multi-class?
Mustang
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be fun as hell, man. Yeah. When would you do that? Maybe do it on like the Saturday or something.
Yeah, you can make it like one of the Enduros.
Yeah,
3
yeah,
hours.
yeah. That's a hell of an idea. I always struggle because we have so few people that I try to get them in the same car as often as possible, so that they can, trade tips and talk more. So that would be great. I have a mild understeer, and then your Camaro just like eats all the grass. It's like blah.
Funnily enough, I haven't gone tractor, so that grass me once. I think it's kind of broken.
I mean, I guess it's better
Like
than just
the,
like a random spin up there.
I'm losing tires fast.
Yeah, the GT4 tires don't really last that long. I think it's mostly just mechanical grip, so the harder you drive it, the...
Yeah, the more you drive the tires off the car. I had that problem at Coda. I was driving so hard that by the time we got to the end of the race, I had no tires. And so Casey and Carter were just catching me like nobody's business. And I'm like, why did all this pace go? Like, why did I lose like a second and a half all of a sudden? That was the front tire wear, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Ooh, just starting the better line table. The funny part is I gained like 2 tenths.
Oh yeah, yeah. In the very beginning, in the first sector, you were all over me, man. All over. Yeah, it's a shame because it's like I feel like the cars that would really help the drivers that don't understand car balance are the cars that they're less likely to drive.
Yeah, after he was saying that about the KTM, now I'm kind of curious about how to drive it.
Yeah, it's a unique little thing, man. It's a 5-cylinder weirdo. I think it lacks torque compared to the other cars. And I feel like on tracks that require a lot of wide open throttle, you're really hurt. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like when he was in front of me, like coming out of the corner, I'd like catch up to him right behind him, but then he would start pulling away. Maybe that's just to get some Porsche.
maybe.
Yeah, the Porsches tend to have better traction traditionally. Because they have so much weight sitting on the rear axle.
Yeah, but that KTM was pulling from me on like already after exit and on the straight.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the Porsche. It lacks the top end speed.
Yeah, Greg was saying that in Coda last week. He had no top end speed. So like getting long straight away.
I would have to take a lot of the wing away, then it would just make it suck everywhere else.
Similar story with the Alpine, it's without zero wing, that car is basically useless at Kota. Again, the GT4 is the KTM and the Ginetta are probably the weakest in terms of like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lowest top
Power,
speed, no power, and
But any track without like massive straights, they're actually very fun to drive.
yes, Brands, Hungaroring, Snetterton, pretty great there. Pretty much
Yeah, I
anywhere you
think-
don't run out of gear.
Yeah, I drove it once, probably it was Snetton where I drove it and I really liked it. It's quite a fun little car.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
almost like a Miata.
Yeah, for sure. I tried to do a spec Ginetta race years ago, but trying to get people to show up to that was hard.
Yeah.
Honestly, the most fun I've had on a spec race in the GC4s was the spec Maserati. That was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
chaotic, but
Yeah. Once you got the hang of it, though, that's the thing steers.
yeah. I mean, I was surprised I was able to keep it on track that well.
Yeah.
Not expecting that. Huh, I'm going to track now. But no time gained.
Yeah, it's weird because, I don't know. When I can't figure out what car to drive, I literally just sit in house of practice and see what everybody else is driving. And whatever I see the majority of, I just pick that.
See, I'm the opposite. I go on there, like I go look at the participants, and I'm like, what is everybody driving? I want something different.
Same.
Yeah, see, for me, I'm like brain draining everybody. How'd you set this up? How'd you do this? How'd you do this? How'd you do this? Eventually, I got 5 people who tell me stuff and I see a commonality. I drove a bunch of people's setups all week that had the Mercedes. Maybe like 4 or 5 guys. and kind of found a happy medium.
Yeah. Now that makes sense. That does make sense. I'll give that to you, and that's actually a really good idea for especially somebody like a rookie like myself. I guess the only reason why I like to do it the other way is because during a race, I don't like seeing everybody on the same car.
That's fair.
I started hating that on Gran Turismo because everybody just uses the meta car for the track, and that's it.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's when it's obviously the fastest car that can be a bit performant. Yeah, it can be a little boring. That's why I drove the NSX, because nobody was driving for like, 200, 300 people.
Yeah, I drove it in a few public lobby races just out of curiosity. It's growing on me. I think, yeah, getting the GT style wheel helps.
Yep.
That with the round wheel, it's basically impossible to drive it.
Yeah, I get that, yeah. Something you can't put a lot of quick steering input in, it'd be difficult.
Yeah.
Honestly, what the NSX taught me was how to get the wheel unwound before getting back to power. Because if you try to put in too much steering, you die immediately. And if you snap the steering, you die immediately.
Yeah. I think it forces you to also pay more attention to the feedback you're getting.
Yes.
It's like it's so subtle.
Yep. I would agree with that.
I like that. Yeah.
The only
I
thing...
mean, my wheelbase is not great, but even then I found out things that it can do.
Yeah. The only thing I found that it was really rough at was curb riding. So, like, you couldn't do, like, the McLaren where you could, like, cut curb like the Monza curb or the Zolder curb where you just threw that damn thing over. You just kind of accepted that this thing doesn't ride curbs, and you just kind of graze over them and split the difference. Find speed somewhere else.
Yeah, Scary in the Honda is not fun.
No, it's not.
That was a warning for tractors?
I don't know. I've always been that sort of person that likes to work with other people to figure their car out, because especially car setup is not my strength. So I like to get other people's thoughts, and like Landry helped me a lot with the McLaren. He shared a lot of setup with me, and I kind of understood the ground effects concept because he would drive it in some wild way, and then I'd add more wing and kind of make it safe for me, and then eventually loosen it back up again. And I figured out it was just because I was steering and getting on the power too early, the car would snap. And that low wing made it hard.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have even thought to try it if I didn't have someone else to be like, hey, try this. You know what I'm saying? So Brian, Randy, Carter, we've all kind of had this NSX support group where we're all sharing setups and being like, hey. I used to throw it in the channels, but people don't use them. So it's like, well, okay.
I mean, I'd take whenever I run the rookie cars in the off-season.
Dude, you are doing God's work in that. I so appreciate that you do that, right? Because it's so helpful for them to just see, hey, this car is quick. And you're generally very fast, so you can take it and just be like, hey, look what it can do. I do it enough as the rookie coach, and I think people kind of ignore it. So it's always really helpful to have another quick driver drive the car out of season or out of sequence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this off-season I really focused on the Ferrari.
Yeah.
So that's the one rookie car I didn't drive when I was on rookies.
Yeah.
And that is the McLaren, but the McLaren is pretty easy enough to drive.
Oh, yeah, the McLaren is user-friendly is an understatement.
Yeah. All you have to do is make sure you don't use your pedals too much on corner entry and you're good.
Yep.
That's the only weakness to that car.
Yeah, don't push the brakes on too hard either. Because if you try to really push into the ABS and the brakes, they just don't work.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Yeah, just the McLaren brakes are so weak that you can't just shove them in on the edge.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think last season for Olsen, I was working with Brian Slater. And I mean, he was just practicing, I was watching. So I hopped in the car and I was like, alright, he had a setup going, so I was like, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. Maybe like a couple of tweaks and it's basically just invincible over the curves.
Yep. Oh god, man, I played a trick on people on Monza where I found a way to take the McLaren and straight line it over the curb of this ferry and didn't tell anybody. And what I would do is I'd have people follow me, and then I would just cut the curbing and like jump it, and people would be like, I can do that too, and they'd die immediately. It was so funny. I did it like all week. I'd have people follow me really close, and I'd slow down. I'm like, you're getting so close. You're almost about to pass me. And then I'd chop the curb, and they just go flying into the shadow realm. It was amazing.
I was gonna say, if I have some time, I can like probably build a base setup for the Ferrari. Like the only reason I say that is because it's like the one rookie car which is actually undrivable.
No, I get you. I get you. I'd appreciate that. Yeah, because like, you know, the small things like rating the bump stop so that you can have the travel and everything. A lot of the rookies won't notice. And so, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to actually get more people out of driving one car because, you know, I sort of somewhat think that some people drive the McLaren because I'm in the McLaren so often. So I try to get other people to drive other things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Lexus for Tuesdays just because I want to do a whole season in one car.
Sure.
I only joined halfway through last rookies.
Yeah. I get you, man. Yeah. Hans, man, you kept up pretty good.
Yeah.
I tried. A couple mistakes.
Nah, man, that's great. That's real great. I mean, Nitton's quick. I do okay. So, like, that's really good. Really good.
Yeah. Like the first 15-20 minutes you were like a second behind, and I was like, oh damn, okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh my god. I think it was just more of a matter of like managing understeering car balance between my car and your car, Nitton, because it's like you just had a lot of push that I saw, and early in the race we were kind of even, but then later in the race I feel like I got slowly started to creep away.
Yeah, I mean I sort of started losing focus.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
For me, it was the last 10 minutes. I just lost a lot of tire.
Yeah.
I was definitely pushing it, I think, a little too hard. And, you could tell by the end of it.
I get you. These races aren't too bad because it's like they're just a 50-minute race combined, so I can kind of do both stints and be fine. Got to make sure I don't.
Yeah, I
the tire
enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like though for those folks who try to do it last minute though, they need to pick a more reliable car. Like when I saw Ryan pick the KTM, I was gonna run over him, like, no, don't do it, you'll be sad. But you have to let people make their own choices. So.
We learned somewhere.
True.
Did anything happen?
For Thursday, it might be a last minute thing for me. If I got to see if I can make it or not.
Sure.
Thursday, I should be able to sign up, hopefully. But you'll see me sign up last minute if I am able to make it.
It's all good, man. Like, I don't know. I'm one of those guys that when the off season comes, I pick one car, and that's the car I drive for those 6 weeks, and I just sign up for races when they show up. Like one season, all I did was cup races, and I got people to show up for cup races. This season, I decided to do the Mercedes so that when we get to Nordschleife, I'm not just mad. So, you know.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna stick with the Porsche for the rest of this GT4 racing.
Be careful that because it likes to roll over, so don't roll it over.
Don't roll over eye.
Yeah. No, the Porsche, for some reason, the way that the collision physics work, that's the one car that I see that rolls over. I rolled it at Nearwards, like in the middle somewhere, just completely just tipped it on its roof. And I see that car on its roof like all the time.
Oh god.
So just
Nordschleife is gonna be fun.
Yeah, honestly, some of the curves in the Nordschleife, you can tip that car right over, and it's like, well, bye. So just enjoy that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely saving that replay if it happens.
Yeah, that's what I did. I rolled mine over, and I was like, yeah, I'm safe forever. Okay. And I appreciate you showing up, because driving against you is always fun. So it made at least the race fun. Like, honestly, in the GT4s, as long as you have one other guy that is within close pace, I can do a one-on-one battle in the GT4s and just have a blast. So I'm glad someone showed up.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I was hoping for a few more, but, you know, hey, it's still fun.
Yeah. I'm going to take some screenshots, try to see if I can get more people to show up for the next one. But I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, man. Well, I'm out of here. I'm going to go eat dinner. Catch y'all later.
Yeah, man. Take care.